What's up, everyone, and welcome to the one, the only, the F.A.N show, presented by Northwestern Mutual. That was a bit of good news.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Since our last episode. So the F.A.N show now has its own sponsor, first time ever. Northwestern Mutual and Doug Mercado made that possible. So yeah, whenever you see the F.A.N show, all of its content, including especially these episodes, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. I am the team man, Richard Tiemann. Over there is the ringer, Zack Ringler.
Yes, sir.
And so we had an episode. We talked about a bunch of stuff and then broke down some film.
Yeah.
And so now we're back to do it again. The Northwestern Mutual thing is some of the good news. There is some bad news. But first, since the last time we talked, I went to the Golden Goat. Do you know what the Golden Goat is?
In Missoula, it's
Yes.
What is it, Sentinel and Hellgate?
So I guess it's this time it was Big Sky and Hellgate. Yeah, okay. But I guess it has been Sentinel and Hellgate before.
Coach Stoverud's dad was a Sentinel guy, and so I've heard it from him from back in the day.
So what's funny is that I caught wind of it, and I was like, God, that reminds me of my high school. We did the Stinky Sneaker for basketball. We also had one for every major sport. So we had what we called the Big Four. So the Greasy Pig was football, Stinky Sneaker was basketball, Battle of the Bone was wrestling, and then Wood Wars was baseball and softball. But I was like, man, that's so familiar. And so when I kept getting messages, when I said, hey, where should I go winter tour? They're like, oh, Golden Goat. All the kids from Big Sky, they love me down there, thankfully, and I'm happy about that. Hellgate kids are like, yeah, Golden Goat, come on down for it. So I reached out to Big Sky, and I'm like, hey, what's it going to take for me to be at this game? And they're like, oh, well, it's not us, it's ABC, SWX. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I know a guy. Yeah. So I give Ben Wyman a call. I said, hey, man, can you help me out with this? Like, he's like, dude, yeah, come on down, do your thing. Like, it's a great time. And I said, yeah, it really reminded me of Stinky Sneaker back in Spokane. He's like, wait, where'd you go to high school at? I said, Central Valley. He's like, dude, the person that brought this here is from one of those schools. It was us and our rival University High School. I was like, no kidding. I guess they were the cheer or dance coach, and they said they wanted to have something for their girls to like work towards, you know? Yeah. And so it's super cool. He wants to do it statewide. And I said, okay, well, if you go to Great Falls, you're going to have to talk to me because I've been trying to bring something like that here. I mean, for those that don't know what it is it's this big rivalry game. Where I came from in Spokane, it got so big that we did have to move it to the arena, the Spokane Arena for basketball. Wrestling, we didn't. Football, it was always going to be outside at either school's, field, and we didn't share one like you guys do at Memorial. We each had our own field, and then baseball was always at whoever's diamond. So the basketball one was the one, right? Yeah. And the outcome of the games, the boys and girls, had nothing to do with who wins the Stinky Sneaker, or in this case, the Golden Goat. It's all about there's three judges, and they have a scorecard, and it's school spirit, participation, theme, how well the theme was executed, the halftime show, how entertaining was it, and then of course sportsmanship and how well behaved you are. And I think really it was secretly our way of trying to get the kids to be as well behaved as possible on some of those big stages, because wrestling, all bets were off, man. Wrestling, you heard some chants, and we almost did at Crosstown Wrestling, which was an amazing event, but I could hear some chants where I'm like, somebody's going to be like, hey, real quick. So it's an amazing thing. I've been quietly, subtly trying to implement stuff like it, for the crosstowns here in Great Falls. But when I talked to the powers that be here a couple of years ago, they just said simply, we don't do that stuff. And it seems like a crime, man. Like I would do like the cracked helmet for football, where you have a helmet that's got the logo of each school on each side. It's got like a crack down the middle, and it goes on top of some Great Divide like trophy like they have, For wrestling, it's got to be the Battle of the Belt, man. Like, come on, it's wrestling. There's got to be like just some old school hardcore belt looking thing.
Definitely world championship belt.
Figure something out for basketball, but I want that here so bad, because when I went down there was just chills, man, just goosebumps. So that was fun. Gonna try. I mean, if they end up bringing it here, I absolutely should be on the call. I mean, come on, the guy who's been advocating for it. And a quick shout out to Coach Cheetah. Thank you for the hat. I can now do a fit like this, where I have a little bit of everything here. Yeah. And once I get a Rustler hat I can throw on my Bison hoodie for when it gets colder. But I've always wanted to be able to rep both at the same time, and now I can do that. But the bad news, I got an email this morning. Parents, coaches, ADs, man, all season. Are you going to be at state? Are you going to be at the tournament? Are you going to be at this? Are you going to be at that? And last year I asked about football, and it was a phone call, not an email. I reached out via email and then was told to reach out to this person, and I did that over the phone. And the person said, due to overwhelming demand for this kind of thing, we have to be very careful about who we credential, And so I was basically denied because I was considered a podcast. And I don't really think I fall in the category of podcast anymore. Like, I'm independent media.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. Yeah. But when I left the news station, we had basically made the transition of all of our stuff being, as soon as your story's done, post it to the web so it can be viewed on there, or put clips on your socials so that people can see it there.
Yeah.
What I do is not any different from that. So I was chatting with some of my Gallatin parent friends that were here for the girls' game last night, the Odegaards, great people. And they're like, so are we going to see it state basketball? And I said, the MHSA does not like me like that. But it's been a year. I thought maybe, hey, time to change. Let's see. Let's put it out there. So I went, got the link, filled out all the necessary stuff, and this is the email I got back. I feel like this is a moment where I pull out this paper and unfold it, but no, it's all,
it's all digital.
It's all on the phone now. So dear Richard, thank you for your request for media credentials for our upcoming events, because I did both AA and then A, which is here in Great Falls.
Yeah.
I said, however, I'm writing to officially inform you that media credentials for the upcoming MHSA Class AA and A state basketball tournaments are denied. Media credentials are typically reserved for traditional media outlets such as local newspapers, commercial radio stations, and television channels. Currently, social media platforms and podcasts do not fall within the credentialing guidelines established by the Montana Newscasters and Montana Broadcasters Associations. While we value the role of media in promoting and covering our events, our priority is to ensure that access to the tournament floor is strictly limited to established and recognized media publications. This helps us maintain the integrity and quality of our coverage at this important event. You are welcome to take photos or broadcast from the stands with the other fans, but you will not be granted floor access. Thank you for your understanding in the matter. Thing is, I don't understand. Like, no. I
sounds like you're locked out of the old boys club is what it sounds like.
Dude, that's really what it feels like. It's one of those things where I'm glad I got that this morning and that we're recording this in the afternoon, because I was honestly kind of irritated. I mean, not kind of, but pretty irritated. And when I made the post a few weeks ago on Facebook, because same thing happened to Mitch, who runs a Wide Left podcast.
Yeah.
I had a couple of parents, including the Odegaards last night. Hey, what do we need to do? Because they're not happy with the MHSA either about whatever. They're like, do we need to write angry letters, a petition? The truth is, I don't know yet, because I know that there's three roads. There's a high, there's a low, and there's a middle, right? And it's all about which road do I want to take in this? Because what that says to me is a couple of things. One, it says that you're going off of guidelines, which are not rules.
Yeah.
They're the guidelines that they're looking at to see what defines media in 2026. And I feel like it's outdated, for one. And so one of my friends who worked at the station with me said, well, reach out to the Montana Broadcasters Association and see if they can update their stuff.
Yeah.
But then it falls back to the MHSA. Going on into my 11th year, I'm clearly established. They've had to have seen my content at some point in the last year, Facebook, Instagram, like they've had to. There's no way. But I think the insulting thing is the last paragraph that says it's to maintain our integrity and everything, and which basically just says that a publication that was founded in 1920 that has a total of 11 readers left, has more value than you do on social media with 3,000 followers getting 1,200 views a clip.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's a petition. I don't know if it's a flood of angry letters.
If you were to start, let's say, just like you're an independent news media, but if you were to, let's say you do like an electric type thing, but just for sports, where, maybe just create a website and then just you're publishing some sports stories on there. Like, does that qualify you then? Because with the electric gets to go to. Well,
So
I mean, they're at GFPS events, I guess. But would that qualify you as that?
I think it would, but what frustrates me more about this situation is that, yeah, I could go to Wix, throw together a website, and be like, here's the link to my website, my publication. Like, can I have my credentials now? But I feel like that's not what the problem really is. The problem is that they're not recognizing what is media now in
Oh yeah, for sure.
2026, because sure, that resolves the issue for me, but what about guys like Mitch with Wide Left? What about the next guy who wants to start a podcast? Like, I don't want to discourage people from starting podcasts because they think that it's not a real thing. It's a very real thing. Like, that's the problem that I personally have with an email like that, because I can go to a Frontier Conference game, even the tournament, but I can go to a game at Carroll, who I think we can all agree is the standard. I can go down there for a game, a game where it's borderline sold out. Like, I looked at the stands, not a lot of empty seats.
Yeah.
And their AD can come up to me, shake my hand, be like, you got everything? You need anything? You plan on, like, what's your plan for after? Who do you want me to get? It's like, how is it that a college can do that, but high school MHSA just won't? Like, that's I think my biggest
I agree.
disconnect with the whole thing is that, I could go throw together a site on Wix. I could name it, T-Man Publishing or whatever it needs to be, and then get in through that way. But that doesn't resolve it for the Mitches and for everybody else that wants to start just a podcast, do great coverage, and be denied because they don't fall within what somebody believes is media, which I guess was defined in 1992 or whatever it was. So we will find out the best course of action. I really don't know what it is. I just know that I'm a mix of put off, angry, kind of it's comical because it's just like, how can you deny somebody who has the growth and impact that I've had? Like, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. There's no ego here, but it's just like, I have applied for credentials in place. Even the NFL, I've applied for credentials with the NFL, been denied, and I completely understand. But they gave me a much better explanation than basically checking a single box, yes or no. It was, we want so many thousand followers on your social, because their stuff is all on social. Like, clips of every game, all the highlights are on Instagram, Twitter. So they're not just going to let anybody. So you have to have so many thousand followers, so many whatever, been around for so long. And that I get. I can get a little bit more behind than just the yes or no. Are you a podcast? Are you not? Or are you on TV, radio? Are you not? And so that's the problem I have with it. But
I would say that, there's a lot of anachronistic rules like that about, like football. We got the first, the rule is, you got the first 3 days or no contact. And it's like, so we went to a full week of camp, and full contact camp in June. And then we do a full contact camp in July. And like, suddenly we get in August, and just because it's the first 3 days of August, you can't have pads on. Like, and I get like the limiting injuries and stuff like that, but I don't know. Anachronistic. It's from a different era,
It's funny to me, just because, obviously I've had a year to think about it, and I've made jokes about it, but just to go through that process and get that email a year later, knowing how much like my brand has grown, and to still be told that, because in their defense, I'm going to say it, which there's not a lot to defend there. But while I was at Carroll, I'm good friends with Gary Marshall, who shoots, for publications down there. He's like our Matt Enos up here. Great photographers. And so he was talking about how he hates when schools will approve anybody. And so now he's on a sideline where there's guys or girls taking photos for parents and not for a publication. So there's more bodies in his way when he's actually there to do a legitimate job. But so am I, though. And I understand trying to keep the riffraff out. And the state title game for football was not a good example of how you keep the riffraff out at all.
That was wild. You can tell on TV.
Wild, that was crazy, dude. So like, little kids are getting in your way, and it's like, why are you here on the track next to the football field? So I get that, but there's just got to be a better vetting process. There's got to be a way to update outdated guidelines. There's got to be a way to make better rules that people can follow, and just better understanding, I think, is what I want at the end of the day. So that then if I know that there's a mark I need to hit, I can go and try and hit it. And it can't be, you can no longer be what you are, or you have to do this along with this just to appease. Like it just, I see what people are saying as far as some approaches, and yeah, just go make up, some BS website, but it shouldn't have to be that way. That's my whole thing. So I know for you, football, you were talking about, contactless stuff, but what's been a couple of things that you've, flirted with that line, and there's been some outdated stuff.
Dude, everything with education seems like it's so, it's slow. It's hard to get, I don't know, just like I'm helping, I restarted the school newspaper this year. I wanted to get that going for kids, because kids have been talking about it over the last couple of years when I bring it up, and they were really interested. And it's just like, it's interesting, what is going to take to get the newspaper going, and trying to get people to buy into, hey, it needs to be web-based, it needs to be all web-based. So we need to go and purchase a web platform for it and all that. But then who can teach it? And they're like, well, if it's going to be a journalism class, it has to be an English teacher. I'm like, why does that have to be an English teacher? What is that? What
does that matter?
Teddy Roosevelt was a correspondent. He was a history guy. These people, I don't know. It doesn't, research and interviewing is not an English specific thing. You don't need or an art specific, it's interesting. Just weird little things like that were established a long time ago. And it's just been the chokehold it's had on education or on coaching, little rules all the time. There's lots of little rules that I think are just ridiculous in football, but the pushing the pile thing, it's and now, it's not it's just pulling. But anyway, I'm always well, actually, no, it still is pushing. And I got into an argument with one of our coaches who was a referee too. And I'm like, so he's like, well, you can push the pile, but you can't push the runner. And I'm like, I understand that. But at some point in the pile, someone is in there pushing the runner. I can come up, and if I'm the third guy on the pile, okay, well, number one guy in the pile is pushing the runner. There's somebody in there who is pushing the runner. I don't understand what you're that doesn't make any sense in there. And so there's just, football's full of all that though. Football has just got all those weird rules that.
What's a battle, a hill that you guys are willing to die on, that comes up at every meeting that you guys have as far as
football?
Yeah, for football, for rules, for whatever, that it's just one day it's going to change, but I guess this is not that day.
For me personally, I hate the blind side, the blind side tackle thing, because it's or no, a better example would be this year, because it reminded me of Caden Davidson, and his hit. He had a big hit in the crosstown game, and he gets called for personal foul, and he comes up, and we're like, what? How's that a personal foul? And Coach Pepe, the referee, is explaining to us. So he is the ball. He's going for the runner, right, for the receiver, and he's not seeing where the ball's at. He's just going right at the receiver, and he hits him, and the ball was overthrown, right? And so we thought, well, he can't see the ball. Why are you throwing? We thought that's why they were throwing the flag. And it turns out, well, if he wraps up, he came in and he puts his shoulder into me, gives him a flipper, and he puts a big hit on this kid, and it was a big play for us. And anyway, it's a personal foul, and it's 1st and goal after that. And we're like, how? And for me, I'll never agree with that, because the ref said, well, if he had wrapped up, if he goes through the motion, wraps up. And I'm like, so if he delivers the exact same hit, but he just brings his arms up and through. I mean, granted, yeah, that is the way that you should be taught, and that's the way we teach it. But he just, it's like split-second stuff. He sees an open receiver, and he's just running downhill, and he's just going to try and dislodge the ball. And it's so it's the exact same hit, but if he just does one motion with his arms up, it is going to be, it's not a penalty. And it just doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense to me. Or the blindside block, where it's same thing, where it's if you go and you put a shoulder into a guy, it's a blindside block. But if you come up and you hit him with your hands, no matter how big it is, it's not a blindside. And it's just, I don't know. It's like, just make it illegal then. Just make it so they, I don't get how it's different to me. I don't.
It's that understanding.
Yeah.
Like you just want to understand like why things are the way that they are, so that then you can do things different. Honestly, what that email felt like is the person that, is managing a local restaurant, right? And they do it for 5 years, and then they go to apply to be the new manager at, let's say, a Texas Roadhouse, a very well established chain across the country, and they go with somebody with 0 years experience, fresh off of their college degree for business management. It's like, what? And I've been there before, but that's just really what that email felt like, is that we'd rather go with somebody who has not been putting in the work, that just has this, as opposed to somebody who's clearly established. It says, plain English in there, we're looking for established media. I'm pretty established, but I just don't check all the boxes. So there's some frustrating things, but we will see best way to approach it. I mean, now that I've had some time to digest it, I'm just like, God, like how do I want to approach this? What would you do? Would you angry letters from parents, like have them just start like, Hogwarts acceptance letter scene where it just starts piling in? Not that I could get that many, but petition sounds like another nice way. Or...
I would probably just do a petition, and maybe is the only way you can really do it. Online petition too, maybe would be the, figure that out. What was the website that people used to use all the time with the online petition? It was really popular back in the day, but do like an online petition for it and get as many people as you can to sign it. Maybe do that thing. I don't know. I'm not, or you could just go as a fan and cover it as a fan, and then just point out how many people follow your page from the stands.
Dude, like it's just,
I guess that'd be the passive aggressive way of doing it.
Oh, I've done the passive aggressive thing so well for so long. But it's when you want real change, it's got to hit them where it counts. Is kind of the thing. So,
I mean, if you did like a petition or a letter, and a petition, and then you try to send it to the MHSA, but maybe try and get a meeting with the MHSA. Try and be like an in-person meeting in Helena. Try and force your way into that.
I'd love to. I think that would be great. I'd love to be a part of that meeting, but I just feel like if a person who I've been told recently wasn't even a parent, I had thought for the last few years that it was a parent, but the Great Butte incident that made it so that JV and varsity can't play at the same time to save everybody a world of time, especially for softball and now probably baseball. But if one person from Butte that's not even a parent can make that kind of ripple effect change, I would hope that someone like me could at least help for future, media,
future
what
media,
I do.
Podcasters.
So we'll see, folks. Follow along. Let me know if you have thoughts or opinions on the best way to approach this. I do want to thank every parent that has emailed me or pulled me aside at games or events and stuff and been like, I will write an angry letter if you need me to. Even one of the coaches at Great Falls High was just like, what kind of angry letter you need me to write to get you there? So I love that. I really do. I think it's fantastic. But there's really only two sports that their argument's valid: track and wrestling, because you can have a school of one. Like St. Patrick's Academy sent one wrestler down from state. She was, so that I get. There's like the entire state is literally being represented in one spot. But for state basketball, football, softball, it's just like I don't feel like it's
and the majority of those basketball games, until you get to like especially the morning games, it's like
nobody shows up till Saturday.
Day one. Yeah, it's like, and because I mean it'd be different if they're in like the field house or something like that, where it's a smaller venue. But when they're in Dahlberg or Brick Breeden, it's like, no, there's a lot of empty seats, a lot of room over there. So, but
I saw the photos. God, that atmosphere for state wrestling must have been awesome. So congrats to Jace Comack, to Gage Allen, Maddie Dieter, and Kale Forchinger. Man, those are four just top-notch athletes. Like,
you've never been to state wrestling yet?
Nope.
Yeah, it's.
When I worked at the news station,
Amazing.
That was the rule. Remember, if you were there, it was your thing. But if you weren't, they had somebody there. And Billings had no shortage of folks. We always kind of not liked our Billings reporters because they had kind of attitude about them. I don't have anything personally against Billings. It's just like with them in that environment with the news and with sports, there was always just a kind of, oh, we get state wrestling, we get state this. It's like, yeah, we know.
They get state basketball like every other year. So
Yeah.
for double A. Anyway.
So it's like, cool, man. I'm glad you've got like 3 reporters that can be there to just triple dip this thing, where when there's a state thing happening in Great Falls, I'm the only one to do all of it.
Yeah.
So,
I always liked playing in Billings at least when I was younger, because there was a lot of, there was a pretty good chance you're going to be on TV on SWX or whatever. And then it was like, a lot of reporters, a lot of people there.
Yeah.
So media.
all right. So we're going to take a quick break and then break down some film here. We got the Super Bowl. Sore subject for me. All right. So we got plays from the Super Bowl, and we got the ringer here to break down the tape. There wasn't a whole lot.
Yeah.
From the...
It was ugly, man.
There wasn't a lot.
It was like that. It was a dominant Seattle defensive performance,
Yes.
much like the first Super Bowl win, right? And then it's just like the offense they just ran the ball well. And I feel bad and break down any of the Kenneth Walker stuff, right? He had a huge game. But I thought this is Seattle's first touchdown here, and it's Sam Darnold. So I'm a Vikings fan. So I got to give Sam his due, because he played it. He played an efficient game. And I love what the Seahawks did here, and it's all based off of what they were able to do in the running game. So if you see, up on the screen, you got the Seahawks come out, and they're lined up. They have 2 tight end guys in, right, and they got them on different edges here, on different sides, and then they're going to motion one over across here. So they're going to get 2 tight ends on the same side, right, and then they are going to snap it as he's in motion, and they had just been pounding the Patriots on the ground. So the Patriots are loaded up. If you see here, as the ball is snapped, the Patriots have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys up on the line of scrimmage, right? And then these linebackers back here are all leaning forward. They're all ready to go downhill, right, and attack.
Yeah.
So it's a great play design. It's utilizing how much they just been brutalizing the Patriots on the ground. And when the ball is snapped here, you see all 3 of these guys are just coming forward. These 3 linebackers, right? They are coming up. Or 2 linebackers and safety. And the dude who just went in motion is going to sneak through and come wide open for that touchdown. So they are in man coverage. You can see him bumping over, right? You can see the linebackers bumping over as he comes into motion. And then this guy right here is manned up on that guy, right? So it is going to be his job to take him, and they're going to run great combination here. They leave this guy in the block, right? It looks like a running play, man. And then the post here by number 1, by the outside receiver, he's going to run this post route and clear that corner out of there, and we are going to get this tight end just sneaking up and through C gap and out and wide open. So post here, boom, going to be absolutely wide open, and you can see him. He's like, oh no!
I was
to
going to
get
point
back.
that out. I was like, I love the scramble where you see 51 going from that way to the other way.
You watch it slow mo. He's like, I got the up, trying to get back, and just no chance. Right, boom, wide open for the touchdown. So I always point out too, like this safety is supposed to be, there's a safety back here, right? He's supposed to be helping out on anything there. He's basically just free, and he's unable to make it because of the play design again, right? So the play design, bringing this guy across in that post, it is going to jam him up on the corner and the receiver over there, and he's unable to help out. So just it's a great play design. It's obviously it's an easy throw, but it's a good throw by Sam, and it's wide open. Love it. Man coverage is what you're usually going to get when you get into the red zone like this, especially when you get down and around the 10-yard line. And the Patriots like to run a lot of man, but the Seahawks knew it was coming and took advantage of it.
So when it comes to plays like that, I mean, you're looking at the score. It's 12-0. It's the 4th quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's got to be a golden opportunity to run a play action because
Oh,
I mean the defense is thinking, why would you do anything other than run?
Yeah.
I mean, a score from us, and it's a one possession game.
Yeah, especially the way that they were just running the ball. Just it was awesome. They could do whatever they want on the ground, right?
So aside from I don't know if I would call it a missed assignment with the guy obviously not sticking with Barner on that and letting him blow by. I still don't understand how he lets him blow by and then all of a sudden has that realization of and turns. But even without that, it's a play design that was just very well executed, and I would have liked a little bit more acting from Darnold on the play fake there, because there's just way too many quarterbacks I see that just do not commit to that action.
Yeah,
like I think what is it? Goff is one of the best at play action because he will make you think that he is handing that ball off.
I've seen Goff take some massive hits when he's handed the ball off
because
guys are just
they
not
think he's still
anymore.
got the ball. So.
Yeah, it's interesting when you see him right here and he goes up to engage him, right? You see his hands come up, and then it's like as soon as he runs by, he realizes it.
Yeah.
But at that point, it's like, well, his momentum is going downhill, and we got tight end just running right by him full speed, so there's no chance there. Unless the safety can get over the top and help, but he gets caught up on that post.
So I remember playing, way back when, and the basically it was preached at you, stay with your man, stay with your man, stay with your man. And this is one of those times where he did not.
No, it's the same as man. But, again, that's just, it doesn't matter what level you're at. When teams are killing you on the run, it becomes, the offense is going to be at the advantage there, no matter with whatever they want to do. So
this is why you make teams respect your run game, no matter how far down or up you are. You make them respect the run game. You get plays like this. So good call on them. It was very reminiscent of when the Ravens won their first one in Seattle. I've pretty much figured out if they don't win it by halftime, they're not going to win it. This was a very interesting game.
Yeah, so what
quarter.
they get 4? They're controlling the ball on the ground, right, the whole game, but then they only got the 4 field goals, and so it's like. So yeah, the Patriots they're one score from being right back in it. I mean, any big play on offense, or if they get a pick six or something, and then this is just like, I feel like this was the moment when everybody was like, oh yeah, that's it. Like there's no way they can come back.
All right, what's the next one you got for us?
I had to, we've done nothing but offensive plays so far, and it's like, all right, I got to do defense because
show us
I'm
where
a
the
defensive
defense was
guy, and defensive guy, and the Seahawks defense was so good, and it's here. Let's get to this next one. Nice play. So the Seahawks were just dominant all day. It was 7 or 8 straight 3-and-outs to start the game. It was wild, man. But the Seahawks came up with, and they had a pretty basic plan, and this was something that they ran a lot. Was they ran a double B gap blitz, right? So in our defense, they're going to blitz the nickel right here, right? And then they're going to blitz this field side linebacker. So in our defense, we call this ham. Hero and the Mike are going to blitz, but normally you don't blitz 2 guys in the same gap because it's not gap sound, right? You don't want them to run into each other or whatever. Like you don't want to, especially if it's a run play, you don't want it to get picked up.
Yeah.
Or to leave a gap open. But man, they did this a lot. I think they did it 4 times, maybe 5. And this is, of course, a play I had to go with because you got a DN pick 6 here. This is amazing. And this was just I don't know, is it nail in the coffin? I mean, I feel like it was already nail in the coffin. They were already in the coffin before this, but you got maybe they got some life in them, right? If they can score here, it's 22-14, whatever. But no, not here. So we're gonna see, this is a one tech nose tackle, right? And he is gonna cross the center's face. So he's gonna be in the other A gap, right? This guy's in B over here. This guy's coming off the edge of C gap. So then we got our D end right here who ends up getting the pick 6, right? Coming off the edge. And then we're going to have the Mike and the Will, or this A gap is open. Well, the guard is going to clear the screen here. The guard is going to slide a little bit as this guy crosses his face and goes around the center. And it's going to turn him a little bit as the Mike is coming in here to B gap. Well, then the guard's going to respond. He's going to get back. He's going to block. But then that's going to leave this guy wide open to get up here. And he is going to give the blow that's going to end up resulting in the fumble, or I guess they call it a pick six, right? It's like he fumbles as it gets hit, and then it just falls into is it Mongu, or how do you say his name?
I don't even know.
I can't remember. feel bad here, but
Yeah,
he is just a freak, right? Boom, and it's just it's just gift wrap to him. It's amazing. Yeah. I love this play so much, man. I've watched it over and over and over again because there's nothing the Patriots can do here, right? Now this running back should step up. I don't know
I was gonna say,
what their
a big
plans
gap
are
there, man.
but he's going to step up and he should be taken inside out. Well, the guard is going to get turned too far with his nose going across the center's face. And so it's going to be the running back who ends up having to take this blitzing backer. And that's going to leave the nickel to just kill Drake May right there. Gets him right on the arm and off to the races.
See, and I would have rather had the running back pick up the outside because I feel like there's something to be valued in making the outside guy work for it than to give pretty much a free shot at the guy that's linebacker that's blitzing through the gap. I mean,
you want the teams this is going to work out really well, right? For the Patriots, or sorry, for the Seahawks, no matter what, because generally what teams try to do, what defenses try to do is they would like to get your running back because he's not going to be as good of a blocker as any of these guys up front, right? So they want to get ideally you want to get the running back on one of your best pass rushers, right? And so that's this guy right here, right? Nwosu. So Nwosu's going to get upfield, and if they slide this way, all these guys slide over.
Yeah, that's what I'm
then the running back comes up off the edge. Well, then you have maybe your best pass rusher going up against a running back, right? And so that's a win in that case. But in this case, where we have these guys get caught up here and leaves this big hole, he's going up and he just takes a brutal hit from the linebacker as he's blitzing, and then we got the nickel totally free. So it's a great blitz. It's a win-win for the Seahawks, no matter what ends up happening with the blocking scheme. And you can see here with their NBC's breakdown of it.
It's a 2-on-1, man. The poor guy.
He's like, oh man, I don't know what to do. The guard is helping inside.
Jeez.
And that is just, the Patriots didn't have a great O-line this year, and they really overachieved with how young they were up front. But there's this guy should be probably, they're all sliding this way. Well, this guy should hopefully be taking this guy with this guy right here with the center right there on the nose tackle. But and then that would leave him to block the blitzing nickel.
But shouldn't 76 know if 38's behind him so that then he can pick up the guy on the inside and not leave a gap wide open?
I'm sure that he probably was supposed to pass this guy off inside to the center. That's what that's just what I'm assuming here. He should have probably passed the nose off to the center as he slid inside and then came back over and taken this dude, right? Yeah. And then this guy would be inside out, and so he takes inside threat to outside threat. And so he would have looked here. This guy would be getting blocked by 71, right? And so then he could get his eyes over to the nickel. So works out, man. They took advantage of him. They picked on him with that blitz all night, and the Patriots just couldn't pick it up. And so it's like, don't overthink it. If it's working, just keep coming back to it, right?
Yeah, and I think, obviously I'm not trying to knock the play. The play, it's a fantastic defensive play. I'm just saying that there's scenarios where you're up against a great play that it's like, this is better than this, even if it's still going to be just as bad. It's like, it's like a slap on the hand as opposed to a slap on the forearm. They both hurt, but one hurts a little less. So I just feel like if you're a lineman in that scenario, you cannot leave a lane open for any of those linebackers to just have, that's a straight line. That's not working around. That's a straight shot at your quarterback that you're leaving your poor running back up to try and do.
You can see from the end zone camera right here, man. It's like the end zone angle. It's like he blocks nobody, right?
Yeah.
His guard 71.
Yeah.
Man, he I think he kind of bumps the nose as he crosses over around the center. No, he doesn't even touch him. Doesn't block a soul. Yeah. So, and it's just young old linemen. inexperienced O-line, the Patriots, that was what they were lacking in all year. It's amazing that Drake May had as good of a year as he did, really, with how bad the O-line was. So
I was wondering if that comment was coming.
But the Pats are gonna. I mean, we'll see what they do next year because they did have a pretty easy schedule this year. When because they play. Were they the ones playing the last place schedule? Or was that
Yeah, that was them.
The Dolphins. So they're playing that last place schedule, and it's going to be the Bears got that this year too. And next year, when you're playing that first place schedule, it's going to be a lot different.
Well, you're going to get some angry mail from Riley Collette about this breakdown here. But good breakdown, man.
Riley gave me a tiny kid's Tom Brady because I am a Tom Brady fan, and he gave me the tiniest Tom Brady jersey. I remember it was like one from when he was a kid. I got it somewhere.
That's great. Well, I think the next one, because we're going to do some of these over the summer too, is when we start looking at last year's, playoffs and then title game and see what really worked at the high school level, because that's ultimately what we're going to be breaking down.
That title game was awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think we've been teasing it to the point where it's just like, we should probably start bringing some of those out now. Yeah. So we can pick a few of those, but we'll
as long as we can start with our win against Helena High.
Yeah, that's fine by me. We'll keep it fair. I'll keep bringing in the hat shirt combo so that we're all good there.
We could look at CMR. We could look at CMR's winning against Butte too. I haven't watched a ton of it, but I can go back and
there's some offensive stuff I'd like to see from that one. I wasn't there at that one either, but I heard it was offensively, it was a hell of a game for Taylor. So that's good. But we're about to hit spring sports and then the off season, and that's when the work really begins. I know you guys are excited about the kids you got coming up. So.
Oh yeah. I've been meeting with the D linemen. They just come in and eat lunch in my room and just talk ball, and they're excited, and it makes it exciting for us. It's like if the kids are like that, they just want to come eat lunch in your room and hang out. It's like, oh, okay, we're ready to roll now.
So I am curious because I was looking at the crosstown comparison so far as we get ready for the last school season of the year. And, been a great year sports-wise for CMR, but they still didn't win football. And then Great Falls High also got the 1 out of 4 for soccer. It was girls soccer. But at the end of the year, is there ever a meeting with the coaches where whoever won their crosstown, they get I don't know, is there a pot or something that you guys?
That'd be pretty funny.
That would be really funny.
Whoever the losers are have to buy lunch or something. Because they do have a head coaches meeting, once a month.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. Well, thanks again for breaking this down and for talking about everything that's been going on the last couple of weeks. So I appreciate it. I love the new home. This is a great, hopefully soon to be man cave kind of thing. I don't know yet.
Yeah. Well, this will be where all the football happens.
Yeah, I have some decoration ideas for you if you want them. But all right, so that's another episode of the Fan Show, breaking down some film with the Ringer and catching up on all the things going on here in sports with the tour and with Montana, and getting ready for a new season, and then of course the summer, and then a whole new year after that. Crazy how time flies. But we were flying through this one, so it'll be no time until the next episode. Until then, for the Ringer, I'm the team man. We will see you guys next time.